Hello. In this video, we're going to be looking at dividing fractions. So we should be able to, if we've got a division involving some fractions, we're going to know by the end of this video how to do that. Okay, so we've got a division involving fractions here. We've got 2/5 divided by 3/4, and I'm going to show you the way in which we do this. It's a little bit of an odd method, but it works. So just go with me on this, I promise. What we're going to do is we're going to first of all just rewrite this in a slightly different way. So I'm going to keep this 2/5 exactly the same. I don't do anything at all with that first fraction. The second fraction, I'm going to, and bear with me on this, turn it upside down. So 3/4 becomes 4/3. And the other thing that I change is I take this divide and I change it into a multiply. And the reason that works is because dividing by 3/4 is exactly the same as, it means exactly the same thing as multiplying by 4/3. Okay, so what have I done? This one, nothing changes about this one, just 2/5, keep it as it is. This one, turn him upside down, so 3/4 becomes 4/3, and this division sign, we're going to change it into a times sign. Now all we need to do is remember, how do we multiply fractions? And if you remember from last week, what we're going to have to do is multiply across like this. So 2 times 4, that's going to be 8. And we multiply across like this. So 5 times 3, that's going to be 15. So we get our answer of 8/15. So when I do 2/5 divided by 3/4, that's my method, that's my answer. Let's try another. Okay, this time we've got 3/8 divided by 2/3. Let's give this one a go. So remember, the first thing I'm doing is first fraction stays the same, 3/8. Second fraction, turn it upside down. 2/3 becomes 3/2. And now instead of dividing, I'm going to need to multiply. Okay, and how do we multiply? We just go straight across. So 3 times 3, that's 9. 8 times 2, that's 16. So my answer is 9/16. Okay. Next example then is going to be slightly trickier because there'll be an extra wee step at the end, but I'll show you that when we get there. So first thing, first fraction stays the same, 5/8. Second fraction turns upside down, 4/3. Division sign, we change that to a multiply. And then we multiply straight across. So we're going to do 5 times 4, which is 20. And we're going to do 8 times 3, which is 24. Now, this is my answer, but it's not the best way for me to leave my answer. What I need to do is simplify. So we need to think about, what common factor do we have between this 20 and this 24? Now, I'm spotting straight away that those are both even numbers. So let's first of all divide them by 2, shall we? So 20/24 is going to be the same as, let's draw on my working. So I'm going to divide by 2 on the top. I'm going to divide by 2 on the bottom. And that's going to give me 20 divided by 2 is 10. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Now, we can go further than that, can't we? I'm going to grab a wee bit of space down here. So 10/12. We can keep going because these are both still even numbers. So I can divide by 2 on the top. I can divide by 2 on the bottom. And we get, what do we get? We get 5/6. There we go. And now I can't simplify any further, right? 5/6 is as far as I can go, so that is my final answer. So everything was the same as before. Turn this guy upside down and multiply, but the first answer I get is not simplified yet. So we had to simplify, and the way I simplified was in 2 steps. Maybe you spotted that there's a faster way. If we divide by 4, we can get there in 1 step, but this way will get you to exactly the same answer. Okay, another. 4/9 divided by 5/6. Same method as before. So 4/9, that one stays the same. This one, turn him upside down, 6/5, and we're multiplying. So straight across on the top there, 4 times 6 is 24. And on the bottom, 9 times 5 is 45. Now we need to check, is there any common factors between 24 and 45? And the answer is yes, there is. These are both in the 3 times table. So I'm going to have to divide on the top by 3, divide by 3, and divide on the bottom by 3, divide by 3. How many 3's make 24? 8 of them. How many 3's make 45? Perhaps you don't know your 3 times table all the way up to 45, so perhaps we need to resort to a bus stop. So let's give that a go. So I'm dividing 45 by 3. I'll change colour for my working. How many 3's go into 4? Just one of them, with 1 left over. How many 3's go into 15? 5 of them. So it must be 15 on the bottom. So 8/15. Is there any common factor between 8 and 15? No, there's not, so that's where we stop. 8/15 is my answer. So we double underline there. There we go. Okay, final example we're going to look at. This time I've got 9/10 divided by 3/5, and we are going to have to do the exact same method we've done before. First fraction stays the same, 9/10. Second fraction, let's turn it upside down, 5/3. And that divide, we change to a multiply. I'm going to multiply straight across. 9/5. Sorry, that's a weird looking arrow. Let's try that again. 9 times 5 is 45. We should have an equals there. And 10 times 3 is 30. And first thing I'm going to do here before we do anything else is I'm going to simplify this. There's definitely some simplifying to be done here. So let's, in fact, maybe I'm going to copy it down here just so we've got a bit more space. 45/30. Now, these are definitely both in the 5 times table, aren't they? So let's first of all divide by 5, top and bottom. Divide 5, divide 5. So we are going to get, how many 5's make 45? Well, it's 9 of them, isn't it? And how many 5's make 30? 6 of them. So 9/6. Oh, you know what? I think there's still a common factor here, don't you think? What times table has both 9 and 6 in it? The 3 times table. So we're going to have to go again. We're going to have to keep simplifying. Divide by 3, divide by 3. And if I divide 9 by 3, I'm going to get 3, because 3 3's are 9. If I divide 6 by 3, I'm going to get 2. So 3/2 is my answer. But I reckon there's still one more step that we should go through here, because 3/2, that's an improper fraction, isn't it? My numerator is bigger than my denominator. So if we're thinking about our 3/2, what does 3/2 look like? Let's say I've got 3/2 of a pizza. Well, there's 2 halves and a third one. Well, I've got 1 whole pizza and a half, haven't I? 1 and a half. So this would be the best way for me to leave my answer. Okay, so there's quite a bit to do there, wasn't there? We had the same steps as normal, where we keep it the same, turn it upside down, multiply. That gave us this answer, but then we had some simplifying to do. We divided by 5 on the top and bottom. We divided by 3 on the top and bottom until we couldn't simplify anymore. And then because our answer was an improper fraction, we decided to change it instead to a mixed number. And that's where we're going to stop when we get to our simplified mixed number. Okay, lovely stuff. I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.